Good day everyone, isang mapagpalang araw sa ating lahat. Muli ako ang inyong lingkod, Sir Jolan M. Sereño at welcome to my math class. For today's tutorial, ang ating lesson is about a geometric sequence. Okay, so let's start. For our learning objectives, after going through this lesson, you're expected to first illustrate a geometric sequence. So paano ba natin ma-identify na ang isang sequence ay geometric? What are the things to be considered para dyan? And second is differentiate a geometric sequence from an arithmetic sequence. Okay? So, before proceeding with the lesson, let us assess your initial learnings. So, read the questions carefully and choose the letter of your answer. Okay? So, pretest muna tayo. Let's have question number 1. The next term of an arithmetic sequence can be determined by adding the common difference to the preceding term, while the next term of a geometric sequence can be determined by multiplying a constant called the common blank. Letter A means, letter B number, letter C ratio, letter D sequence. Okay, let's see. So, tingnan natin kung tatama. For question number 1, the correct answer is ratio. So, called the common ratio. Next, question number 2. Which of the following is an example of a geometric sequence? Letter A, 2, 4, 6. Letter B, 12, 17, 22. Letter C, 3, 9, 27. And letter D, 10, 20, 30. So on and so forth. Again, which of the following is an example of a geometric sequence? The correct answer is C, 3, 9, 27. Next, question number 3. What is the common ratio of the geometric sequence 3, 12, 48? A, 3, B, 4, C, 12, D, 8. So again, what is the common ratio in the given geometric sequence? Okay, so the correct answer is 4. Okay, next for question number 4, find the missing term in the geometric sequence 5, blank, 20, 40. So what is the missing term in the geometric sequence? Is it 5, 2, 20, or 10? What is the missing term? So the correct answer is 10. Letter D. And for our last question, question number 5, the common ratio of the geometric sequence 3, negative 9, 27, negative 81 is negative 3. What is the common difference of the arithmetic sequence 3, 0, negative 3, negative 6, and negative 9? Is it A, negative 3, B, 3, C, 1/3, or D, negative 1/3? Again, what is the common difference in this arithmetic sequence? Okay, so the correct answer is negative 3. Okay, so that's it. So, after this session, malalaman nyo kung bakit yun yung mga tamang sagot. So, kailangan makinig kayong mabuti. Okay, so simulan na natin ang ating discussion for our mathematical terms. So, first, what is a geometric sequence? A geometric sequence, also known as a geometric progression, is a set of terms in which each term after the first is obtained by multiplying the preceding term by the same fixed number called the common ratio, which is commonly represented by small letter r. So, medyo familiar kayo dyan sa mga symbols na to. So, for this lesson, so if we have arithmetic sequence with the common difference, we use letter D. Here, in the geometric sequence, we have the common ratio. We're going to use R for in representation sa common ratio natin. Okay? So, let's have our example. Illustrative example number 1. The number pattern 1, 2, 4 8, and 16 is a geometric sequence. Yan. So, paano ba natin malalaman na ang sequence ay isang geometric? So, for this example, in-identify natin, sinabi natin na itong sequence na to is an example of a geometric sequence. So, bakit nga ba naging geometric sequence siya? So, here are the reasons. Tingnan natin. First is, 2 is multiplied to any term to get the next term. So, ibig sabihin, yung 2 serve as the multiplier in this sequence. So, titignan natin. So, itong 1, so, pag tinimes natin yan sa 2, okay, so, the product is 2. Tama. And then, yung 2, multiply natin sa 2, the answer is 4. Correct. And then, 4, times natin ulit sa 2, the answer is 8. And then, yung 8, pag tinimes natin sa 2, the answer is 16. So, which means, 2 is multiplied to any term to get the next term. Next, therefore, we can now say that 2 is the common ratio. Dahil ginamit natin siya as a multiplier at tama ang mga naging sagot, we can now say that itong number 2 natin, itong ginamit nating multiplier, can be now identified as our ratio. So, we can now write that our R is equal to 2, a common ratio. And then, so, the common ratio may be an integer, ayan, or a fraction, or maybe a negative integer. So, hindi siya limited sa positive value lang. So, pwede siyang maging negative 2, pwede rin siyang maging fraction, 1/2, 1/3, or pwede rin a negative fraction or a negative integer. So, yun yung mga possible na pwedeng maging value ng ratio. Pero, but not 0. Yun yung ating ruling dyan. Because pag multiply natin, alam naman natin if a number is multiplied by 0, the answer is 0. So, matatapos na doon yung sequence at hindi na natin makukuha yung mga next terms niya. Kaya in this, we have this condition about the values of the common ratio. And, lastly, it can be found by dividing any term by the term that precedes it. Ibig sabihin, kapag nagdi-divide tayo ng terms, so gagamitin natin si second term. So, ibig sabihin, mula dito, so kung kumpitin natin, for example, di nyo pa alam yung common ratio niya na 2. So, paano ba natin malalaman na yun yung common ratio? So, pag sinolve natin siya, so let's try. So, erase natin to. Let's try to solve for this. Tingnan natin kung ang common ratio niya talaga ay 2. So, what will happen is, so, yung preceding term, so, paano ba yun gagawin? So, ganito lang siya. So, if this is like yung second term, i-divide mo lang siya sa first term. O in short, patras, pabalik. So, parang ganito. So, yung 2, i-divide natin sa 1. Ayan. So, it will become 2. So, the answer is 2. Next, ito namang 4, dun sa preceding terms, no? Ayan siya. So, what will happen, magkakaroon tayo dito ng 4 divided by 2. And 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. Ayan. And then, tuloy lang natin, yung 8, divide natin sa 4. So, that will become 8 over 4. So, that is also equivalent to 2. And then, last, itong 16, di-divide natin sa 8. So, 16 divided by 8. So, still, the quotient natin is 2. So, as you can see, yung ating quotient is 2, which means, tama na talaga ang ating common ratio for this sequence is 2. Okay, that's it. Ganun lang yung ating first example. Okay? So, we're done. So, let's try now our second example. In the sequence 3, 8, 13, 18, 23, there is no common ratio among the terms. So, yun yung ating first observation. So, however, there is a common difference of 5. To prove, let us have the following solution. So, again, so in this sequence, hindi natin siya pwedeng sabihin na geometric sequence kasi wala daw nakita na common ratio. Bakit? So, tingnan natin, mabilis lang. So, pag i-divide natin to sa 3, that's 8 over 3 and then 13 over 8. So, nag-iiba-iba na yung ating quotients. That's why wala siyang common ratio. Pero, ang sabi dito, meron siyang common difference na 5. So, may nakita na common difference na 5 sa sequence na to. So, tingnan natin kung tama ba yon. So, again, same procedure tayo. Sundan lang natin to. So, again, the common difference is represented by letter D. So, D is equal to 23. Ganun din, pabalik tayo. 23 minus 18. So, the answer is 5. Okay. Next. How about 18 minus 13? So, the difference is also 5. And then, 13 minus 8. The difference is also 5. And then, last, yung 8 minus 3. The difference is also 5. So, as you can see, we have now a solution for the common difference at ang lahat ng sagot niya is 5. So, therefore, we can now say na ang common difference na talaga is 5. And then, thus, this is not a geometric sequence but an arithmetic sequence. Kasi nga, wala tayong nakitang common ratio sa kanya, pero meron tayong nakitang common difference sa sequence na to, which is 5. That is why this example, this sequence can now be considered as an example of an arithmetic sequence. Okay? Good. So, that's it for this example number 2. Okay, let's have example number 3. Okay, in the sequence negative 20, 10, negative 5, and we have 5 over 2. Okay, the common ratio is negative 1/2. Okay, so here, sinabi na ang sequence na to ay may common ratio na negative 1/2. So, fraction. So, pwede ba yun, sir? Yes, pwede yun. Nasabi natin siya kanina na pwedeng maging fraction ng isang common ratio at hindi lang basta fraction, pwede rin siya na negative na fraction. So, to prove this, let's have the following solution. Okay. So, again, ang process ng pagkuha ng ratio is that dinidivide natin, okay, itong terms, yung terms natin, okay, so here, balik natin dito, so 5 over 2, barin lang natin. So, sa 5 over 2 natin, okay, sige. Here, so, in this solution, bigyan natin clarification to, so 5 over 2, ayan, divided by negative 5. So, again, ganun din yung process natin. Itong term na to, di-divide natin dito sa third term. Okay? So, we have 5 over 2 divided by a negative 5. So, sir, paano nga pala mag-divide ng fraction na may fraction? So, what will happen is, itong ating 5 over 2, i-divide natin siya sa negative 5. So, we have a rule dito that we get the reciprocal of the denominator kapag nasa complex fractions tayo. So, ibig sabihin, dito sa 5 over 2 and negative 5, ang denominator natin dito is yung negative 5. So, parang pag sinulat mo siya, you have 5 over 2 and then you're going to divide this by a negative 5. So, ito ngayon yung denominator natin sa complex fraction. So, what we did, we get the reciprocal of this and the reciprocal of negative 5 is negative 1 over 5. So, hindi mababago yung sign. Kunin natin reciprocal ng 5 which is 1 over 5. So ngayon, and then, after makuha natin reciprocal, we're going to proceed to multiplication. So, imo-multiply na natin itong dalawa. So, what will happen, itong 5 over 2, imo-multiply na natin sa negative 1 over 5. And then, sa rule natin sa multiplication of fractions, so, pwede, cancel nyo to, no? Yan, para ma-simplify. And then, the final answer natin is negative 1 over 2. Or you will have here negative 5 over negative 10. So, ang lowest term niya is still a negative 1/2. So, if you're going to get the ratio between these two numbers, so the answer is negative 1/2. Okay? Let's try another pair. So, dapat kasi mag-i-exist siya sa lahat ng terms natin. So, again, what if yung negative 5 naman, ang i-divide natin sa 10. So, here's the solution. Negative 5 divided by 10. So, in fraction form, ganito yung itsura niya. Okay? And then, you just get the lowest term. So they're both divisible by 5. That's why you have here a negative 1/2. So tama ulit, another negative 1/2 ang ating naging sagot for the ratio. Next, let's have this. Itong last pairing natin. Ito naman, dapat yung 10, di-divide natin siya sa negative 20, dapat ang sagot ay negative 1/2 din. So, tingnan natin. So, 10 divided by negative 20 is equal to 10 over negative 20. So, they're both divisible by 10. That's why we have here, lowest term natin is negative 1/2. Okay, so that's it. Nakuha natin yung solution at napatunayan natin na ang common ratio sa sequence na to is negative 1/2. Therefore, we can now say that this sequence, negative 20, 10, negative 5, and 5 over 2 is an example of a geometric sequence with a common ratio of a negative 1/2. Okay, so that's it for our example number 3. Okay. And for our next example, illustrative example number 4, determine if there is a common ratio or a common difference in this sequence. So, titignan natin kung ano ba ang mag-exist dito sa ating sequence. Ito ba ay may common ratio or common difference? Okay? So, to prove, let's have the following solutions. Okay, so ito, gumawa tayo ng table. Tingnan natin. Kapag sinolve natin siya using the common difference, here are the solutions. Okay? So, tingnan natin. So, dito, 28 minus natin sa 14. So, the answer is 14. Next, 14 minus natin sa 12. That is 14 minus 12. The answer is 2. Okay, so nag-iba. Nag-iba na. Next, yung 12, ma-minus natin sa 6. So, 12 minus 6 is 6. So, as you can see, nag-iba yung kanyang mga differences. So, iba-iba yung difference niya. So, first solution natin, 14, and then the second difference naging 2, and then the third difference ay naging 6. Therefore, wala siyang common difference. Okay? Now, let's try. Punta naman tayo. Testingin naman natin kung ito ay isang geometric sequence. So, let's solve for the value of r, which is known to be the common ratio. So, ganun din. So, papalitan na natin yung operation. So, yung 28, di-divide natin naman ngayon siya sa 14. So, 28 divided by 14, that is 2. Next, 14 divide natin sa 12. 14 divided by 12. So, the lowest term natin to, they're both divisible by 2. So, that's why the answer is 7 over 6. And then last, itong isa, yung 12, divide natin sa 6. So, 12 divided by 6 is 2. So, as you can see, ganun pa rin. Wala siyang common ratio. So, nag-iba. Naging 2, tapos 7 over 6. Sir, ito naman po ito ulit eh. Yes. So, pareha silang 2. Pero itong pangalawa, naging 7 over 6. So, dapat kasi consistent. Kailangan pag sinabi natin common difference or common ratio, dapat pare-parehas yung makukuha yung value doon kapag kukunin mo natin yung pattern niya. Eh, dahil dito, biglang nag-iba yung pangalawa. Pero bumalik dun sa pangatlo, naging 2. Pero still, hindi siya common kasi merong isang naiiba. So, dapat ay pare-parehas yung magiging sagot nila. So, dito, ang ating ratio nag-iiba-iba. And then dito, ang ating common difference nag-iba-iba din. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? So, pwede natin ngayong sabihin that the sequence is neither an arithmetic nor a geometric sequence. Ibig sabihin, wala siya dun sa dalawang klase ng sequence. Sir, pwede ba yun? Yes, pwede yun. Kasi meron pa tayong mga natitirang klase ng sequences. But for this session, masasabi natin na etong sequence na to ay wala sa category ng they're not, this sequence is not under the geometric, wala siya sa geometric sequence. So nakita niyo naman kanina kasi wala siyang common ratio at hindi rin natin siya masabi na arithmetic dahil wala din siyang common difference. So ang magiging conclusion natin, it's neither an arithmetic nor a geometric sequence. So yun, so there's a possibility na ang sequence natin ay hindi ma-satisfy yung mga ganong condition. Okay, so, pero huwag kayong mag-alala, may mga susunod pa naman tayo mga lessons about sequences. Mali mo, doon papasok itong given natin na sequence. Okay, so, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and do some comments sa ating mga videos. And subscribe kayo sa aking channel para updated kayo sa mga latest tutorials natin sa mathematics. Again, thank you very much. Stay healthy and safe. God bless us all. Muli, ako ang inyong lingkod, Sir Jolan M. Sereno. Salamat.